Hello and welcome to the fifth episode of the Economic Times Best Brands 2021, an event that touches upon the finer aspects of purpose-driven brands and how some brands have fine-tuned the art of customer engagement. In this special episode, we bring you an exclusive event highlight. First up, we have an opening address by Manoj Nair, Senior Director, ETH.
Thank you all for joining us today. I'm delighted to see that so many of you could be with us for this fourth edition of the Economic Times Best Brands Conclave 2021. We've come together to acknowledge and recognize some of the best brands which have stood the test of times, especially in a volatile post-pandemic world. This event serves as a platform for us to engage and exchange knowledge to understand the nuances of successful brands. With this as the backdrop, we would like to present the Best Brands Conclave 2021 to discuss and understand newer strategies incorporated by some of the best brands. The innovation, the agility, the proactive approach, and the purposeful marketing, the impactful reach, and lot more. While we celebrate the success stories of brands, we will also launch the coveted coffee table book comprising the best brands. Looking forward for a very, very interactive session and a day. Thank you so much.
Next up, we bring you a special address on conscious business leadership by Sri Preethaji, transformational leader and co-founder of Ekam.
Namaste. Happy to be with every one of you today. We are facing a season of great uncertainty now. This will pass. This season of uncertainty needs wisdom which will help you navigate through the season. Everyone responds to uncertainty from two states of mind, from a stressful state, or you respond to uncertainty from an awakened state. If you look at a stressful state, it is a state of anxiety or it is a state of aggression. The other state from which you could respond to life situation is an awakened state. When you are awakened, then you actually have the ability to walk out of those stressful states, dissolve those stressful states as and when they arise. To nurture an awakened state, I would say, is the most important art every human being and definitely every leader should cultivate. Because dependent on your state is the actions that you perform, and dependent on the actions that you perform is the destiny that you would create. It is what you're creating for you, for your organization, for your family, and the world. One question I want to leave every one of you with is, what is the state in which you're experiencing a large part of your life? Is it a state of stress? Or are you in a state of calm? That becomes the most important question for your life because that determines the quality of your life.
In our next session, we have a chief guest address on the significance of Maharashtra in India's growth story by Subhash Rajaram Desai, Minister Industries, Government of Maharashtra.
I am indeed happy to be with you all, celebrating the best brands of India. We have best brands around us, but I am living with the best brand in the country, that is Maharashtra. And Maharashtra has achieved this position over the last 50, 60 years with its industry-friendly policies, best infrastructure, innovative ideas, and so on. The state has 15% share in the country's GDP. The state has 25% share in country's exports and more than 30% foreign direct investment comes into Maharashtra. So here is a state which is a powerhouse in the Indian economy. I congratulate the Best Brand Awards today and thank and congratulate Economic Times for providing them space to project their stories, present their journeys here, and inspire many more in the future to come and create their own brands. Thank you very much. Jai Maharashtra.
Moving on, we have a power-packed panel discussion on the digital disruption opportunity, the next and only focus for business.
If I may start by talking about the three trends that we see as shaping the world of marketing as we go into 2022. Three things on top of my mind are: one, the amazing harmony between digital and physical. Second, consumers are more aware about societal and environmental issues, and they want the CEOs, the brands, to speak about it. And lastly, data is on everybody's mind. It's now everybody's business. So if I can start, Sriram, with you and ask, where do you see organizations' winning strategy in the intersection of these three trends going forward?
I can share a little story about our own company, right? Because Nissan went through these key areas over the last 2 years. A lot of people say digital disruption is because of COVID. I would say it has just accelerated the process. So we started preparing for the new launch, the Nissan Magnite, a couple of years ago. And we clearly saw the customer trend changing towards visiting showroom versus coming to a website to look for more information. And that's where the balance of the journey between digital and physical changed. So we actually started working on changing our business model to adapt to this phygital, we call it the phygital way of connecting with our customers, which is basically working through the digital conversations and engagement with the customers and enabling a physical touch point, even in the digital space, to get them to experience the product and to be able to purchase the product. So we invested quite heavily on our customer experience. We started with a 3D configurator and added e-commerce journeys. Then we now added a virtual sales advisor where a customer could actually go into our website and actually have a chat with a real person and walk through the configurator as an assisted model. So I think all the three elements that you said, right? Phygital, the element of sustainability, the element of making sure that data becomes extremely critical in the new world is true to us.
Dimitrov, if I have to ask you, you are in a heavy construction equipment business. Do you see digital making strides in the way your business model is currently working, or how it would evolve going forward?
So first and foremost, I come from Volvo's construction equipment business, not a very well-known business in the general public, but Volvo is into trucks, and its second largest business is construction equipment, and we produce around the world, including India. So when COVID happened, where most of our sales was happening prior to COVID impact, was mainly dealer salespeople traveling, doing cold calling, meeting customers. But COVID really made it a challenge for us to make people reach out, and so obviously people were using various different digital channels. We incidentally in our industry also went through a very major shift in technology, going from, the emissions kicked in and we had to go into the construction equipment stage 4. So we had a lot of product launches during, just post the second wave of, in 2021. And we actually had 100% digital launch for our industry. In our business, we had 16 new products that were launched. And we had a campaign which ran for about 2 weeks. And we had 1.5 million views of our campaign. So it was very interesting for us to understand how digital is actually impacting the customers and who are reaching us, to whom are we reaching out to. But coming to the other element from a business model perspective, one of the things that we also see in our industry, and we're discussing in our industry forums as well, is the shift from product to services. We believe that the trends are there. Some of the Western markets, we are seeing customers asking us, very large owners of fleets, asking us to quote pay per use kind of concepts, very different types of concepts. And for us as manufacturers, this is a huge shift in our mindset. It's a paradigm shift in the way we think about our entire business.
Sudhakar, what would you say are the ways in which the customers and the providers of the services are coming together? And how platform mindset, how the connection with the right person, the matching algorithms, how are all of these evolving?
Well, the digital disruption is a reality. We cannot really get away from that. But there is an also interesting fact that we need to understand is that the whole consumer patterns are changing. There is a dramatic change. For example, probably 4 years ago, the primary screen was a television screen, right? Now, the primary screen is a mobile phone, which is about 5.5 incher, right? So the whole consumption patterns of whether it is media has changed a dramatic, increase, which also brings with it, one is a very, attitudinal change in the way that we look at it. The other is a statistical challenge. Very famously said, there are lies, damned lies, and statistics. While Dimitrov is very happy with the fact that he's got 1.5 lakh views, it also throws an interesting challenge. Are the viewers who actually watch the advertisement, are they really glued to it? Is the content engaging? Or it is just that the geo free data which actually made it possible? So are these real customers who are our prospective customers, as I would say, is a real challenge. So as marketeers, that is also a challenge to really understand that, am I lost somewhere in the midst of all this hype and hoopla, or am I reaching the real customer? So that's a challenge that we all have to live with, and we need to focus more on marketing technologies to understand the consumer behavior, which I think is getting forgotten in this whole maze of digitalization kind of a hoopla. So I would say that, as marketeers, the challenge is that, how do you make sense out of the data? How do you take leverage? How do you leverage the kind of gold mine that you have in terms of data?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us none other than the beautiful and the amazing Vani Kapoor joining us this evening. Can we have a huge and a beautiful round of applause to welcome Vani right here on the stage? So Vani, firstly, thank you so much for joining us here this evening.
This is so much of an honor and a privilege to be here in a room full of so many talented people who are from different walks of life and who have so much, way more experience than I do in life. And when it comes to work and ethics and reliability, you all are incredible. And I'm just happy to be sharing the screen and the stage with you guys. Thank you.
What's that one aspect of storytelling that you're really enjoying? And if there is one aspect that really does need some improvement or the other?
I feel we have started to kind of level up to the global standards when it comes to content-driven cinema. The filmmakers, they've become more brave and they've become confident in exploring aspects and subjects which were never addressed before. And I feel the audience also, with the OTT platform, or with the kind of, the palette of films that are presented to them, I think they've also evolved over a period of time, which is amazing because those many filmmakers can make those many movies and those many actors, are considered for those parts, which are not all conventional. So I feel like it's a great mix and balance of conventional meets unconventional cinema.
Beautiful indeed. And if there's any scope for improvement, if there's any aspect that really needs any improvement?
I think there's always scope for improvement, no? That is life. Absolutely. We keep improving and we keep evolving and we keep discovering something new about ourselves and about life.
Beautiful, beautiful indeed. Thank you so much, Vani, for sharing your thoughts with us. Ladies and gentlemen, first up, we'd also like to take the opportunity to unveil the cover of the coffee table book that features some of the best brands, the success stories of these best brands. So let's take a look at the impeccable coffee table book cover launch right over here. Let's have the video, please. We have none other than Abhishek Kapoor joining us this evening. So Abhishek, as a path-breaking director, the kind of risks that you've taken, be it movies or stories for that matter, I want to actually first understand who is your favorite storyteller and what really instilled in you the art of storytelling for all our members of the audience.
I've grown up on Manmohan Desai and, Raj Kapoor, and then I've also relished watching Steven Spielberg, and then, directors like Clint Eastwood as well. So, in sabka ek mishran hai mere dimag mein kahin, and I've just loved getting into the worlds that they create, and that's what really inspired me to create my own, and to dive into the details and to truly explore that universe that one is trying to create, and that gives me a lot of fulfillment, a lot of joy. And I hope I can continue to do that for the rest of my life.
I think I'll just ask you one last question. The question is to do with authenticity and keeping it real. And the same applies even whether as brands, when we want to share our narratives, or for that matter, we as people, when we want to share something, it's just all about keeping it real. But the big question that was on my mind is with regard to taking care of the output. You can be as real as you want. You can do your best. But how do you try to draw nuances in such a way that you can also get that kind of output once you share your story?
I mean, there is a subject, and you can look at it and you can analyze it deeply, but what is most important, I think, is the perspective with which you look at that truth with. You can get into the details of it, but which seat in the room do you take to look at that idea and that story is what makes the difference, that can shift the genre, it can shift the audience you're talking to, it can change everything. So I think perspective is everything.
It's all about the perspective. Wonderful indeed. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like the tempo is set. And with that, let's get started with the felicitations. And let's hear it first up for the brand that's being felicitated, UST. The next brand that's being felicitated here, let's hear it for Amp Energy India. The next brand to be felicitated, Beam Suntory. All right, so with that, then let's move forward and can we have a lovely round of applause for Lovely Professional University. I'm guessing Mr. Aman Mittal is still busy teaching back at the university. All righto then, let's move forward and let's hear it for Crowd Strike. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for KGISL.
Let's hear more from the winners of the Economic Times Best Brands 2021 about their brand journey.
CrowdStrike India witnessed exponential growth over the last 24 to 28 months. And I like to attribute this growth to three main factors: people, the philosophy, and the technology. The path-breaking and the cloud-native technology of CrowdStrike has helped and will be helping our customers to simplify and consolidate security in their respective organizations. Enabling protections around devices, identities, and data will help them achieve their desired outcomes around security.
LPU lays emphasis upon each and everything. We have very strong connection with the industry. Very recently, our students have been have been going to many industry at a package of 50 lakh rupees. And they are working in almost all top 500 Fortune companies of the world. We have filed more than 1,000 patents in last 2 years, and around 40 patents have been granted. In Times Higher Education ranking, which is the top ranking of the world, our university figures in top slot of 36th in India.
Oaksmith is a fantastic brand we've been able to launch during the pandemic. It's also become more successful than many of its peers in the market. The product credentials are really strong, and that has helped us push through a product like Oaksmith. It has created its own market. It has created its own repeat, which is the test of any new launch. Many tall brands from the house of Beam Centauri, that gives it that sort of credibility, the house credibility, to establish itself.
I thank the organizers for recognizing Amp Energy India as one of the best brands in 2021. So Amp Energy India is synonymous with the only company that can partner with any commercial, industrial and even government user of electricity to take them on their journey towards 100% renewables and net zero. So we basically can transform the entire electricity footprint of any company on a pan-India basis to 100% green, and in doing so save a lot of operating costs.
New Holland Agriculture is a brand with a rich legacy of providing innovative, intuitive and sustainable solutions to farmers across the globe. It is a brand known for its pursuit of excellence in product performance, quality and reliability. We further our promise of excellence by engaging with our customers in a meaningful manner by adopting new age technologies and digitalization. At New Holland Agriculture, we partner farmers in their progress, and through a wide range of tractors and farm mechanization solutions, we are here to make farming easier and more productive.
Being one of the pioneers and prominent player in seed industry, we are constantly evolving and adapting to new methods of doing business. From introducing digital modes for working remotely at a very early stage to adapting to digital media for reaching out and connecting with our customers, we have evolved a lot in recent times and would continue to do so by making it easier to do business with us for our channel partners and for our customers.
COVID has disrupted businesses and has changed them forever. We wanted to change the customer experience of our clients' customers, bring empathy into customer experience. We want our systems to anticipate customer intent at the zero moment of truth, that is at the first touch point. To do that, data becomes a new goal, ML becomes the neural center of our products, analytics, conversational UIs, and omni-channel delivery has become the key. COVID has happened in between the transformation journey, but we were ready for it. And that is the reason why we were able to grow 50% during this tough time. Thanks to all my colleagues at KGISO, we made it happen. Thank you very much.
Last 2 years have been very, very phenomenal for the brand. The brand has grown more than 30x in just 20 months time. We have kept our leadership for 7 quarters in wearable category, specifically smartwatches for last 7 quarters. As a brand, we've also evolved our R&D and tech ecosystem. And a couple of challenges that any brand would have seen, I'm sure, is particularly about, how the growth has been there for the brand and how the team strength we have to develop. So building a talent and creating the right set of people in the team has been the biggest challenge for the brand, probably.
Digital transformation for UST is how do you apply technology to enhance your customer experience, to enhance your customers' revenue, to make your customers' operations more efficient and enhance their employee experience. Also to use technology to comply with government regulations and various regulations that our customers have to follow. We achieve that by carefully identifying what is the customer need, how can we solve it, and combining domain and using the right kind of technology in our platforms and solutions to solve that, converting the pain points of our customer into the bliss points in the whole customer journey map. This is enabled by a strong team of technologists and domain experts across the globe in 28 countries. Not only that, by leveraging our extended innovation ecosystem, which spans across startups, universities, and partners, and leveraging the global workforce that we have who are driven by innovation and entrepreneurship.
Brands need to connect with their consumers emotionally and strike an emotional chord. They need to connect with their audience and consumers to understand and set the right expectations. Consumer attitudes have really been fickle these days, especially post-pandemic, where there are plethora of options available for them. So it is really important for brands to connect emotionally and set the right expectations from the brand.